This is John Colo with growingyourgreens.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. Today I'm here at the Bakersville and Pioneer Village Baker Creek Seed Company store here in Mansfield, Missouri. Rareseeds.com is their website. The reason why I'm here today is because they brought me out to give a presentation here at the Harvest Festival that takes place every October here in Missouri. This is the first time I've been out in Missouri to the Harvest Festival during this time of year, because normally I see them at the Heirloom Festival that was canceled for 2026, but I've attended every single one they've had in the past, and hopefully that comes back. Nonetheless, I see this as basically taking the place of the Heirloom Festival because they have a very similar displays and, you know, a little bit different vendors here, but this is an amazing place to be with the seeds on sale. And so since you were not here and you guys missed it, I'll be filming a few episodes in this, which have probably already aired. Number one, we're showing you guys all the displays of fruits and vegetables in the main display hall. Number two, we're gonna go ahead and film my presentation I gave with Dr. Jeff Pierce on using your garden as your medicine cabinet and taking your health to the next level. And number three is this video where I'm giving you guys basically a brief synopsis of the event and all my favorite vendors, booths, and you know what's going on here at the event that you guys missed. So actually with that, let's head into the event and show you guys around. All right guys, so the parking is like kind of in front of me and behind me. This is like the main entrance you're gonna walk down to get into the Harvest Festival, or either the spring or tulip festivals that they also have at Baker Creek. I've made videos at all these other events that they have here, so I'll put links down below so you guys can see those as well. They're all pretty much in the same place, and they have similar deals usually on the seeds. And then in the early times of the year, they may have plant starts or other different tubers you could plant. Right now they have like some garlic, they have some saffron crocus you could buy, as well as the seeds by Baker Creek for $2 a pack, which is a low price. And then besides that, at the Harvest Festival, they have a huge display of different fruits and vegetables, mostly what they grew here, but also a lot from California. And then also they have like basically tents set up. They have a flower tent with all the different flowers on display, as well as a lot of different food vendors. So they have food trucks along here. They have one tent full of vendors, and they also have just vendors spread out on the property selling like soaps, kombucha, fermented foods, different like garden tools, all kinds of different things like homesteading type things. There's about maybe at this event, there's maybe about 5 vendors that have things like soil or plants. So if you're looking for soil or plants, this is not the time to come, because this is going into the season where they're not really growing much here in Missouri. So you want to come to the spring event that's coming up probably pretty soon, depending on when you're watching this, or the tulip event, where that's what's most focused on there. Anyways, in this episode, we're going to take you guys around real quick and show you guys some of the main areas and what you missed here at the Harvest Festival. So let's head in. All right, so once you guys get here, there's an information kind of stand here, and then on this sheet you could pick up, there's a map of the property, which shares where the bathrooms are. There's a lot of walking here, so you're gonna have to get a lot of good exercise. There's vendor tents, the speaker tent, the seed store, the greenhouse and plant sale, the seasonal harvest display, which is in here. I'm not gonna go into the seasonal harvest display except for maybe a few things, but I'm gonna have a detailed episode. So I'll either post a link down below or hit the subscribe button so you get notified when that video comes out, where I basically go over everything, all the different fruits and vegetables on display here. And they also sell basically the squash tower, which I'll show you guys in a minute, at 5 o'clock on Monday. So I need to get all my filming done relatively quickly, as well as miscellaneous displays here in the seasonal harvest display tent. And then they have a schedule, which is Sunday, in this case, October 5th. It goes from 10:30 to 4:30 is when the speakers are on. And same thing with Monday, October 6th. 10:30 to 4:30 where all the speakers are on, and then this event runs from 10 to 6 each day. Definitely, if you guys want to have the best availability of different seed packs and other plants or the things they sell, come on the first day, because some of the people run out. Like I'm here on the second day, and like a lot of the things that they had on the first day are just gone. If you could get here on a Sunday, but then the Sunday is like way more crowded. So if you don't like dealing with people, maybe come in the mid-afternoon, like right now would be a good time. Maybe like 1 or 2 on Monday, and then like this place is kind of empty really because everybody's just trying to get through the rest of the day and then get home. Actually, I'm gonna head over and talk now, so I'll show you guys what the setup looks like for the speakers. All right, so real quick, I just wanted to give you guys a walkthrough to see what's in here. This is basically the display tent where there's like all different kinds of fruits and vegetables on display. They also have actually the seed swap going on the whole time this event is going on, so bring your seeds to share, or I guess you could also maybe buy some of the seeds here. And I mean, this area reminds me of like the Heirloom Expo that I would go to every single year, because they have, you know, a big table from Murray Farms from California with like all kinds of fruits that they've probably never seen here in Missouri. This is the booth for the plant breeding, so they have plant breeders on staff at Baker Creek that are like creating new varieties through traditional crop breeding. And they have different tables. This is like the South American area. This is the European area. They have like a Native American area. And then this is the best place of the room. You guys are missing all the free samples. Oh wow, man, they're sampling out some, wow, pawpaws. It's like, gotta try some pawpaws here. That's rare. You don't get those too much.
Those look like little tiny dates. They are.
Yeah, so those are like wild dates. They got sea beans for trial. They got, wow. So actually for the best samples, you want to come on the last day, because now they're really busting out the good stuff. On the first days, like they were like skimping out on stuff, but now that's like the last day. They're giving a lot just to kind of get rid of it all. Oh, and then they have key apples, pomegranates, pluots, Buddha's hand lemon. Wow, that's cool. And anyways, this is a Japanese table with all kinds of Japanese crops. So yeah, this is really fun in here. Of course, we have the famous pumpkin carver over here happening, and we will head out the other side to the speaker tent going on over there. So I'll show you guys what that looks like. And there's just vendors just hanging out. You never know what they're going to have. They might have something really good. I supported a few vendors here at this event buying various things. So that's been really fun. But we're headed over to the speaker tent over yonder. All right, guys, so this is the speaker tent. It's like one huge tent. These are the Monday speakers. They have like the schedule here. Also, it's on that paper that you could grab when you come in. We're currently right at ending at the Heirloom Seed and Sustainable Agriculture in Kenya panel. And then next up, we got Raul Rosado from Rescuing the Heirlooms of Puerto Rico. And I visited his farm. If you want to see Raul's farm, link down below to that video, where I visit his farm and share all the amazing work he's doing in Puerto Rico.
Favors.
Is that a crop that is used a lot in traditional Kenyan cooking?
Broccoli? Broccoli is not traditionally from Africa, but still is used in most of the cooking.
All right, guys, next up I want to show you guys one of the things I'm most excited about seeing here in 2025 at Baker Creek, because I was here like in 2024 when this building behind me wasn't even here. It was maybe just like the roof and some of the small pony walls, not yet the glasses was on. So they basically created a greenhouse out of the back of their seed store that you could get to from the seed store, or you could enter out here from the back, and then inside, of course, in the springtime, they'll have all the different plant starts to grow in your garden. Right now, they're having mostly like tropicals, like for house plants you could grow inside. But there are a few edible crops inside that I want to share with you guys that are actually really special. So let's head inside there and share with you guys the one crop that I really am a big fan of, and I think you should all grow, especially if you live in the Midwest. It gets quite cold. All right, guys, head inside the greenhouse. And as you guys can see, they're basically selling lots of plants this time of year. Unfortunately, it's mostly non-edible plants. There's like a handful of edibles in here that I saw, but I'm gonna just share with you guys my favorite. Also in here, they have just some pots, and they also sell you guys potting soil and fertilizer, which we will talk about in a little bit, by Royal Gold Organic. And let's spin it around and show you guys what's happening on in here. So the only plant I want to share with you guys here in the greenhouse, because most of it's just all tropicals this time of year, are these guys. These are the grafted persimmons. So, you know, here in the middle of the country, they're used to the American persimmons that are basically seedy and astringent wild persimmons. They're quite small. Actually, they have trees right over there that the fruits are dropping and people are stepping on. And it's unfortunate that people, when they think persimmons here in the Midwest, they think of the wild persimmons that make small fruit that, yes, they're edible, but you have to let them totally ripen and get non-astringent and they're good. But also what they're saying is, in fact, one of the most delicious and regionally appropriate fruits that can be grown in the Ozarks, the persimmons. So what they've done here is that they've taken the American persimmon rootstock and then they've grafted on really good varieties of persimmons that are going to produce nice and delicious fruit. And it says each fall the fruits ripen to a gorgeous apricot color and adorn the tree branches like ornaments. And it says the plants are very disease resistant and pest resistant, and they need minimal fertilizer. So that's really cool. So grafted trees, and then these are the varieties they have. They have the Britain's Blue American Persimmon. It's just that a persimmon with truly blue skin. I want to see that one and eat that one myself. Fruits are medium-sized, flavorful, and blue. That's what I want, a real head turner. And it says hardy to minus 20 degrees or colder. So guys, if you love persimmons and if you've never had them before, trust me, it's one of my favorite fruits in the entire world. You guys should be growing them. They got their Rosankia hybrid persimmon is the gold standard when it comes to the hybrid persimmons, one of the most widely planted and cold hardy varieties. Fruits ripen in November and they will hang on the tree like ornaments. They won't drop to the ground like the wild persimmons. The fruits are nearly seedless, hardy to minus 20 degrees. Once again, guys, these are great persimmons here for the Midwest. The Zimakura is one of the best hybrid persimmons. The large fruits grow almost as large as peaches, relatively small seed size, and are very good in cold hardiness. It's in a no-spray Ozark orchard setting. This tree may well outperform all of your stone fruits combined, it says. Hardy to approximately minus 15 degrees. And the Palmieri Chenovia is a new and rare Ukrainian hybrid persimmon. This tree produces some of the largest hybrid persimmons available anywhere, regularly more than 2/3 of a pound each, cold hardy to minus 12 degrees Fahrenheit, guys. This is incredible for persimmons, man. I'm just freaking out. I want to taste these. I'm so excited. The Miksuku AKJT02 is incredibly cold hardy, almost as cold hardy as a wild persimmon, beautiful orange fruit, late November, and are known for their amazing taste. This variety is a first-generation cross between wild persimmon and the prized Tasu Japanese persimmon. So yeah, to me, by far, the persimmons are the most valuable thing in this greenhouse here. I don't know if they're going to end up shipping these or just selling them at one of their events, but these are some of the, some fruit trees you definitely want to plant here in the Midwest that are going to give you literally a taste of the subtropics here in the Midwest. So yeah, I really want to try that blue one. So if you grow one, let me know. All right, guys. So one of the main draws to this event is the stack of pumpkins. I'm not sure why everybody always loves to see the stack of pumpkins. I mean, I saw it every single year at the Heirloom Festival, and I'm glad to see it here at the Harvest Festival here. And yeah, and then the cool thing is at around 5 o'clock on Monday, which is today, they're going to be selling basically all these pumpkins for like just a few dollars each. And so yeah, they're going to clear them out, and of course they're all edible and delicious. And also too, I mean, these are all basically winter squashes that you could buy and then store for a month or two or three and then eat them at a later time during the winter, when you can't grow fresh food outside here in this climate. So I encourage all you guys to eat more squashes, especially ones that are deeply pigmented on the inside, like ones that are deep orange. They have more beta-carotene content. They're absolutely delicious. Actually, I had a Missouri-grown butternut squash last night for dinner, and it was delish. All right, guys, so I wanted to give you guys an overview of the Bakersville Square. So you can see behind me the Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Store, which we'll go into in a minute. And in this area, which is usually their tulips, or it's pretty much spring and they haven't really planted much yet, here in October at the Harvest Festival, this thing is fully planted out. Guys, this is totally, to me, it's incredible. Because look, they got like these papaya trees. They're like over 6 feet tall and they have like small papayas on them. I mean, their secret is they grew them inside a greenhouse for a while and then they planted them out in the springtime. But they also have a lot of other tropical plants that you would not expect to see growing here in the middle of Missouri. And in just a few months, these guys are gonna be out. So whether they're gonna take cuttings from some of these, whether they're gonna try to dig them up and save them, or whether they're just gonna go the way of the West. And it's really cool to like actually see some of the very seeds that they sell in the store are being grown out and they're just kind of mixed in to the landscape. So that'd be a fun game to play with somebody that knows like all the different plant kinds to see how many you could actually name that Baker Creek sells or that you know are edible, right? So right here, I didn't see this earlier just because I'm standing here to film. They have beautiful Spilanthes plants. So that's also known as a toothache plant. But guys probably can't see it on the camera there because they're so tiny. But these little like flower buds, you eat them and then they make your mouth feel all weird. I haven't had them in a while. I love them so much. Anyways, I'm gonna take you guys around a few areas of this courtyard and show you guys my favorite plants that they got grown here that look amazing. All right guys, so in this courtyard area, it's just really cool to see all kinds of different, non-edibles and edibles mixed in. Like, earlier I didn't even see they have like pesto perpetual basil right next door. And then this is one of the amazing papayas that are over 6 feet tall. And you guys can see this is loaded up with papaya fruit. And like, I would say it's highly uncommon to see papayas growing in the ground right here in Missouri. So once again, they grew these like in a greenhouse for maybe about a year and then planted them out when they're already to size. And then just in a season, they might even ripen up before they freeze. In addition, they started a lot of other crops inside the greenhouse so they could get a jump on the season and then planted them. This is one of my favorite, the Cranberry Hibiscus. These to probably most people look like they're like ornamental, but to me, I know these are totally edible and it's amazing. They planted a lot of these for color, right? Because this is a really nice, vibrant, like show-stopping purple color. But also, of course, I want you guys to remember that all these little small baby leaves, or even the larger ones, are delicious. They taste like sorrel. Favorite things to grow. They look amazing too. And here in this zone, they're not gonna make maybe another month or so. They're gonna be gone, but they did cuttings of these, before they go out, they're gonna take cuttings of these and then keep them going in the greenhouse so then they could plant them out next year in the spring after the last frost date. So some of the funnest things for me is to come to Baker Creek here in Missouri, right? And then I see like some of my favorite greens that are heat tolerant, that grow easily in the heat. And I guess this year they had a funky year with a lot of rain or whatever. But this is the Malabar spinach. They're basically growing on a TP trellis made out of bamboo stakes. And you can see it's just filled it in really nicely. So many greens to eat. I'm really impressed to see how well the Malabar spinach grows out here. And like my experience is that the green Malabar definitely throws out a lot more leaves and doesn't tend to fruit as quickly as the red one. They have red ones on property in another area, and the red ones or green ones, they have no growing next to each other, and the red ones like have smaller leaves but fruits quickly and the fruits are ripening, and these are just way behind it. So I always thought like, oh, I'm going to go to the red rhubarb. It was better because like it's more anthocyanin rich, but then the green one pumps out a lot more leaves, and typically the leaves get a lot larger as well. And if you guys want to learn more heat-tolerant greens you can grow instead of lettuce during the summertime when it gets too hot, link down below to my video where I share my top greens that'll easily take over 100 degrees in the summer without any problem. All right, guys, so honestly, this is another one I'm happy to see that they're growing here at Baker Creek. Once again, these ain't gonna handle the frost, but it's really impressive on how well it's grown, and just to see how it's growing differently than how it grows for me in Las Vegas, because it doesn't get quite as hot. Mine, starts that I get from Baker Creek, and the announcement I have that unfortunately I learned this trip is that Baker Creek will no longer sell plant starts such as the Chief Kubos edible hibiscus that we're looking at here, or many of the other different starts they did, like live plants they did in the past, which is one of my favorite things that Baker Creek was doing. They will continue with the sweet potatoes because they just found it was like just a lot of work and it's during their busy seed seed selling season, so they just couldn't make it happen. But it's really cool to see the growth on this, because mine just grow tall and straight, whereas on these guys they're actually branching out into a really nice tree like I would see grown in Florida. And as you can see, these look amazing. And once again, this is in one of my favorite top 10 leafy greens to grow in the summer heat. And these plants look beautiful being grown here. Of course, if you're gonna grow this, you definitely need to be growing it in a pot, or take cuttings of it before the frost, and then grow it inside and then plant it out next season after your last frost date. These will not take a frost at all, much like the papayas and the Cranberry Hibiscus that I also showed you. All right guys, so no trip to Bakersville would be complete without visiting the Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Store. I have full videos where I pick out all my favorite seeds from the Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Store. Once again, links down below to that. And if you are here for the Harvest Festival, they're giving out their whole seed catalog 2025. You're probably watching this in late 2025 or 2026. So they'll be coming out with their 2026 whole seed catalog soon. This is the world's largest seed catalog, 532 pages, and the pages are not wasted, because check out the beautiful photography in here. I've met both the photographers here at Baker Creek, and they are amazing to take all these pictures in their catalog to let you guys know what you can be growing from the seeds that they will sell you. And of course, if you don't want to, this catalog, because it's a large one, costs money, but you could always get the free seed catalog sent to you at rareseeds.com. And of course, you can also order online and see all the amazing pictures, and that'll save some paper as well. So anyways, next up, let's go ahead and head into the Baker Creek Seed Store and show you guys why you want to come on one of their harvest or spring festival days. All right guys, so one of the big reasons, aside from seeing everything going on here, to come to Baker Creek on one of their festival days is because they put all their seeds on sale. Even if the seeds are $4 or $5 a pack, which some of them can be, they put every seed pack in here on sale for a low $2. So right here, every seed pack's $2. Now, if the seed pack is less than $2, then they charge you $2 too, just to keep everything simple. So yeah, plan ahead and figure out what you want to get before you get here, so you're not just like picking out everything, because at $2, it's an amazing deal, guys. And I'm in the lettuce section today, so I'm going to show you guys my favorite lettuces I think you should grow this upcoming year, including the Merlot, the Outrageous, and the Lunix. And so a longtime viewers would know, why does John Kohler like these seeds the most out of all the lettuces? You're thinking, John, they're not even green. What's up with that? Yes, I love to grow the purple lettuces. Not only are they beautiful to the eyes, but they are very nutritious for your body and healthy for your soul as well. These have the anthocyanin pigments that can make you a lot healthier and like 10 times more nutrition in certain nutrients than just standard green lettuces. So when you guys are buying seeds, I always encourage you guys to purchase heirloom seeds such as purple lettuces, purple carrots, and other purple foods, and grow as many of those as you can. Not only will they look beautiful in your garden, but the other thing most people won't tell you is that because they're purple, it's like a dark-skinned person. They tend to sunburn less, and they're more resistant to some pests and diseases as well, due to the anthocyanin and other unique plant compounds that these genetics make. And this is what my talk was about, partly, at this event. So make sure you click the subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Help me get to 1 million subscribers here. I'm getting close. Make sure you click the bell, and you'll get notified when my video comes up of the talk I gave here to take your guys' garden and health to the next level. All right, guys, so it's a little bit after 5, and at 5 o'clock, they basically open up this hall with all the displays, and they basically sell it based on donations. So if you come here, this is probably one of the best times to come, because you could get whatever they had on display, including these little peppers here, which are red Savina peppers, any of the melons, the squashes, and the cool thing is now you get to basically take home the fruit, open up, and make sure you save your seeds. And I saw one guy who's smart, he was labeling everything he got so he could take out the seeds and he knows exactly what seeds they are instead of just randomly grabbing stuff, right? So tag everything, maybe use some like if you don't want to write with an indelible marker on the fruit, maybe take some like blue tape, the tape that comes off easy, and like mark each one before you get it, and maybe have like you know, your partner get some of the other things, because some of the most desirable things like the sweeter fruits, the muscadine grapes, like these things went very fast. The good melons, the watermelons were just like gone in an instant. I got here a little bit later. Yeah, lots of cool things. Yeah, you could basically take home the food and the seeds. All right, guys, so here's a tip. Things close up kind of early here. It's 5:38, and one of the vendors I was going to show you guys, the Royal Gold Premium Potting Soils. They also have some really amazing organic fertilizer that I got some samples of, but I can't show them to you because they're already left. And now we're going to go into one of the other vendor tents and show you guys another vendor that I liked here at the event. All right, guys, so the last vendor I'm going to show you guys today, because most of the vendors here were not necessarily related to gardening, except a few of the nurseries that I'm not going to cover. But a vendor that I did cover in previous years and actually went out to his farm to verify he does make bona fide real castings from not red wigglers, from the black night crawlers often used as the fishing bait. So this is Poppy's Vermiculture Farm. If you guys want to learn more about Poppy's, links down below to my video I made a while back at Poppy's, where I share with you guys how he makes the castings. And the cool thing is, while he used to sell in bulk, now he's really promoting the use of his castings to make a compost tea. So he has a worm casting tea kit or compost tea kit. And the other thing he's doing now for you guys out there, he's invented and came up with the easiest way to produce your own worm castings at home. And it comes in this box. It's a Poppy's Cup of Worms. It's freebedding.cupofworms.com if you guys want to get free bedding and then order the worms. So you can order just like one little cup. This is like a deli cup that you would get like at the supermarket. They'd fill it up with, I don't know, chili or whatever they're filling it up with. But basically, he invented this system where he could put 25 worms in here. It has a vented lid, and I would recommend you guys get 2 of them. Don't just get one. If you're going to get this system, you want to get 2 of these guys. And right here, these 2 worm farms, and yes, this is a worm farm because he's got the bedding and the feed pre-mixed in there and the worms, 25 worms in there. In 2 weeks, will make 1.5 pounds of earthworm castings for you. So every 2 weeks, just with these 2, right, you can make 1.5 pounds of castings. Now, how much would a pound and a half of casting cost you, right? You got to ask yourself that question. And then after 2 weeks, you literally just dump this out. You harvest your castings, you pick out the worms, you basically put in the bedding and the feed, which you can buy separately or go to the website that I just mentioned to get the free bedding, I guess for your initial order maybe or something. And then you could basically just keep refilling this, and like one guy has like 20 of these lined up, so he makes like, I don't know, 15 pounds of castings a week with 20 of these individual guys. You may need to wet it down a little bit, but this is basically like idiot proof. People want to feed earthworms like food scraps and all these things, but he has it dialed in, so you use his specific bedding and his specific feed, and you will be successful. And if you don't want to buy his, he shares with you guys how to make it yourself. So you definitely want to check out Poppy on his YouTube channel, youtube.com/Poppy's Castings. And you can check him out, of course, online at cupofworms.com, which is his website. All right, guys, so we're here at the cabin garden, and this is like a trellis structure they set up to, I think, grow some like long gourds, which are insane. They also have so many other different kind of tropicals, including guavas planted in the ground, bananas, and some of the other crops I went over earlier. They also, of course, have garden tours where you will meet, and like every hour they give a garden tour. They'll take you around to the greenhouses where they'll show you guys how they do germination testing on the seeds. They start a lot of the seeds for the farm here, as well as grow amazing crops like the figs and citrus in their greenhouses, and other tropical fruits in the greenhouses year-round, which is totally amazing. But next up, I want to take you into the little cabin they have here, because it's like a kids play area. This is new for this year, and actually I like it a lot, because even if you're a kid or an adult, you could have fun in this little kids area. All right, guys, so in the past I've shown like the sand pile that they basically put in treasures. I don't know, maybe old coins or geodes or different kinds of stones and rocks that kids could get in the sand and just dig around and have fun. But now they started in this little like structure here, a barn structure. They basically got some kids games, which was really fun, and a place to take like pictures. So I want to show you guys inside because, you know, this is one of the things that I like the most, and most people probably just walked on right by it, unless you're a little kid. All right, guys, so in this area, they basically have like kids games like they'd have at a carnival, right? So they got these like little hacky sacks that you could pick up, and they don't charge for this. You can just come here and do it. Pick up the hacky sack, and I was sitting here, I was like, all right, let's see if I can like get it through. Boom, oh, I missed. Let me see if I can get it, let's see. Missed. I was doing pretty good earlier. I got one there. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, missed. A little bit low. Boom. All right, so they got this cool game. They got all these little hacky sacks, and then if we spin it around, on this side, they got this another game where you use the same hacky sacks, and you basically just throw it in the throw it in the buckets like they're like, this is like the basketball thing. And then they have it set up so that all the balls roll back down to you. So like that's the easy one there. They got smaller ones to try to throw it in. So, got it. I bet my nephew would be really good at doing this. All right, so that's 2 of the games in here. Let's show you the other ones. All right, this is the next area, guys. What does it look like? I mean, I used to work at Chuck E. Cheese as my last corporate job when I did have a real job. But this is basically like they took like 800 pounds of corn, and they basically used the hay bales as a surround. And this is like, you know, when they got the little balls at like Chuck E. Cheese, instead of balls, they basically just got 800 pounds of corn you could like jump in and get buried in the corn. So the kids were like jumping off here and here, and it's just fun being with all this corn, especially if you're like a 5-year-old or an adult. And it's kind of hard to get out of here, and then you get corn everywhere, up all your different orifices. Don't forget to empty out your shoes. All right, guys, so the last area has a basically plant-made Sasquatch. No Sasquatches had to lose their life to make this little display with all the plants here. And if you take a picture for Instagram or other social media, you want to make sure you tag at Baker Creek Seeds for sure. All right, guys, so I got to show you guys all the major areas of this event, and you know, while you got to see it in video, that's no substitute for being here in person. Baker Creek does events every spring, 2 events, and then a harvest festival in the fall, and they are not to miss, right? I mean, I showed you what it looked like, but just the energy here, the people, the connections you'll make, the speakers you'll meet. This is just one amazing event, and I encourage you guys to set your calendars for the future events. I always enjoy my time when I come out here to Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company for one of their festivals. It's one of the funnest time I have all year long. All right, so if you want to learn more about their upcoming events, make sure you check them out at rareseeds.com. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please be sure to give this a big thumbs up. More importantly, share this with other people so that they can be aware about one of the most amazing gardening events out there. And it's not just a gardening event, guys. They had music, they had places for kids to play, they had all kinds of different amazing vendors to check out and peruse, selling amazing things that you could hang out at all day and make like a weekend day, or if you're hardcore, come both days. The most important times to come, I'll tell you guys, number 1, early in the morning on the first day to get the first crack at all the seeds and all the different plants and other things they have before they sell out. And then the other best time to come is the last day when they close up. So then you get like the amazing deals on all the different fruits and vegetables on display. Also be sure to click that subscribe button right down below so you're not missing my new upcoming episodes. I've come in here 5 to 7 days. You're going to show up what you'll be learning on my YouTube channel. Make sure you click the little bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check out past episodes. Past episodes are a wealth of knowledge. Over 1,700 videos at this time on this channel dedicated to teaching you guys all about how to grow your own food, with links down below to previous events I've come to Baker Creek Heirloom Seed Company to check out and enjoy. So with that, my name is John Kohler with growingyourgreens.com. We'll see you next time, and until then, remember, keep on growing.